fact, floating ever so slightly. A knock sounded on the door, and I yelped in surprise. The bunny leapt from my mental arms, and dirt flew everywhere. I closed my eyes as it rained down on me. I sighed. The knock sounded again. "Just a minute," I called. I opened my eyes, brushing dirt off my face and lashes. I had exploded the potted fern. "Great," I grumbled, standing and shaking off the dirt and bits of plant as best I could. I swung open the door, and to my surprise, found Ben standing there. I hadn't seen him since we left Fairwild. All the camera people had traveled back to the human realm separately from the contestants. Emotions welled in me, surprising me with their intensity. Ben had been there for the hardest week of my life, and it was only now that we were both out, both safe, that I realized just how much his presence had comforted me. "Hi, Jacq," he said awkwardly, as I flung myself into his arms. "It's so good to see you." He held me tightly, and the stress I'd been feeling since we returned to Hennington House melted away. Oren was my partner in the FFR, but Ben was my friend. "Come in," I invited, untangling myself from him. "When did you get here?" "We left Fairwild just before the contestants did, but the producers took us all out for a meal and put us up for a night in a trendy hotel in Cardiff." "Jacq." He looked me up and down and surveyed the detritus in the room. "Did you know you're covered in dirt?" "It's a long story." I brushed my face off again and pulled my hair from its ponytail, doing my best to shake it out. "I won't ask," he grinned. "I think that's best." "You all healed up? Ready for round 2? "Hell no," I said, shaking my head. "I haven't even been able to sleep. It's all churning in my mind. I keep remembering the endless cave and the Earl King chasing us, and just as I think I'm on the edge of sleep, the dragon pops into my head, and I'm wide awake again." Ben plopped himself on the bed, a serious expression on his face. "I'm sorry. I can imagine. I was safe the whole time, thanks to all the protective enchantments they put on me, but there were times I nearly shit myself out of fear. I'm not so sure you should go back in." I looked across at him in surprise. "I've got to go back in. You know that." "Why? Seriously, why do you have to go back in? There's no law that says you have to. It's only a stupid TV show. Is it about the money? Because I'm not sure any amount of money is worth risking your life for." He spoke so earnestly I could feel myself being swayed. He had a point. Genevieve and Z had never made it back from Fairwild. But I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it for something much more precious. The Fairy King's boon. I needed to win to get Cass back, and if I didn't win, I fully intended to stay in Fairwild until I found her. One way or another, I was leaving the fairy realm with my sister. Unfortunately, I couldn't articulate any of this to Ben. He didn't know about Cass, or at least he didn't know more than the few bits he overheard when I was telling Oren. He definitely didn't know that I had a letter from Cass hidden right under where he was sitting. No one knew about it but me, not even Oren. "Think of everything I could do with $1 million, I said, trying to sound enthusiastic. I'd never have to work again, or, living in LA, I could buy a few cups of coffee." Ben laughed at the joke before growing serious again. "I thought it would be fun, a bit of a laugh, a bit of danger. But it's not what I expected at all. They are paying me really well, but..." "But..." I raised my eyebrows. "I knew I'd be safe in there, but I wasn't prepared for the emotional stress. There were so many times I wanted to jump in and save you, but I knew that if I did, you'd be disqualified, and then you'd hate me forever." "Are you thinking of quitting?" I asked. I tried to keep the panic from my voice at the thought of being in there without him. Though we'd been able to say so little, he'd been a comforting presence every step of the way. Ben shook his head. "There's no way I'd let you go in there alone." Relief flooded me. I scooted closer to him and hugged him again. "You're a good friend, Ben. I'm glad you're my camera guy." "Me too." "Feel free to sneak me more protein bars at any time," I said. Suddenly, I had realized how close we were, sitting side by side on the bed. I pushed to my feet. "Noted." He stood as well. "Is that why you came to see me?" I asked.